Alright, hello. I'm very late this week. I kind of forgot, and then I was sick, and then I forgot again. But I'm here to make content. Most of you, if you choose to watch it, will probably not see it until after you played your games, but I figured at least I would get the predictions in before the games happen, just for the record, I guess. So yeah, let's quickly look over last week's games. The first couple games went as expected, the next two not so much, for me personally anyway. I guess it's also worth mentioning the only game that wasn't a upset in terms of seeding was this first game we're going to look at, Hellbears versus Vapor. Frankly, I don't know what to say. It looks very clean. Game's kind of even. And then Hellbears begin moving. 17 to 41. No T2s lost. I don't even know what to say here, really. It's just so one-sided. Yeah, I don't know. The draft is maybe like a little funky from Vapor. I really hate late void picks. Just like pick the hero early if you're gonna pick it. Bounty Hunter is a very funky hero. I think the combination here as well, the CM's also kind of strange. That's not really a support duo that I think does much. I'd also be kind of scared about picking a bounty against Hellbears. I don't think Hellbears ever really loses the early game that hard, and bounty kind of requires you to win the early game to do stuff. So I don't know, kind of whack. Game 2, not really much different. Pretty stompy once again. They got the Ricky on Hellbears. That hero is AIDS right now. Very early Enigma pick, a support Enigma pick for reasons I don't understand. Draft once again looking very funky here. We have this like late Timber pick. Was this meant to be like a gotcha or something? Did they see like two strength heroes? It's like, oh yeah, good Timber game. I don't think it looks like a great Timber game. Really, I guess it's kind of good against Ricky in theory, if you ignore the fact he has a spammable AoE silence that can't be purged. Mans went 1 in 10 on said Timber, so I don't know. It's actually even stompier than the first game, I think, in terms of the net worth charts, although I guess at least Vapor managed to get AT2, so that's something. The Idiots versus Coconuts game was a real mess. Game 1 was a real game. And you'll understand why I make that specification in a second here. Coconut stills their like T1 up. They pick up this OD hero meant to be very good right now. I haven't really seen a whole lot of it in my own games, but I've seen a lot of it in like ticketed games. AD2L in particular, I'm seeing it all over the place. Yeah, pretty cool. The late pick Wraith King looks pretty good into this game, but I mean they just never got off the ground. Stomped, 1k net worth lead a minute. Game 2 was not even a real game because Scrub rage quit before the game even started, and I don't think he's coming back because I've been asked to stand in for him tonight. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. They picked a CK offlane and a Clink's mid, and then the offlaner and the mid laner decided that they'd wait and let Dota decide who had which hero, and then Scrub left, and that was that. We see the support OD coming out for Coconuts once again. Even less to say about these games. They were super stompy, and Waste Idiots imploded. So yeah. My own game, I think I can say with a lot of confidence, this was probably the best series of the night. Although wait, was this even of the night? Oh yeah, that's right. We couldn't reschedule these guys. They couldn't play on weekends. All three games are very close. Net worth, I think the net worth charts are pretty wild on each one. The first game, we picked a troll pretty early. It went pretty well. I don't think they really countered it at all. To be honest, in my opinion, people pick Axe into troll quite a lot. I've always thought that that's a really overrated counter personally. I've definitely seen it work really well sometimes, but troll lanes pretty well, and if you can't get him low enough to dunk him, you don't really do anything to him as Axe. Yuki picked up the Slark, a bit of a favorite of his, I think. Did pretty well on it, but it didn't really work. They also have this mid laner. So, according to the site, this is their new mid laner. This is the first series they ever played with the team, but they're on the site, so I guess they're officially replacing the previous guy. I'd be lying to say I didn't get like a little salty over the fact, because I was like a little annoyed before the game that this roster keeps changing, that I have to play like a totally new mid, but yeah, it's whatever. Seems chill. I can't really get annoyed too much at Wilgang for that, although I can get a little annoyed at the admins for not like at least announcing that the roster had changed in Divine Captain's chat or something, because I didn't notice that this was their new mid on the site until like 30 minutes, an hour before the game, I think. Yeah, but whatever. First game we won off the back of this polo troll. Oh, we also had a stand-in, I guess, for the first two games because H wasn't there. And last week, I guess I'm forgetting all kinds of things. Last week I mentioned I wouldn't be playing either. We'd have two stand-ins because I've been having internet problems. I played anyway. That was probably a mistake, but I don't think it lost the game or anything. It was a little frustrating. I didn't play super well, but it wasn't too bad. And I'm kind of fixed now, so we'll see. But anyway, that was game one. The next two games went to Wilgang. Game two, we have this snap mid. Our mid lane, our stand-in plays some like wacky heroes, which I thought was pretty cool. I think he did pretty well, all things considered. We did end up losing the game. We actually had a really nice start. I thought we were pretty set to win, but we had this throw right here where we, I believe this is the fight where we like 5-man walked into a Juggernaut, or maybe that came later. Maybe this was just a Roche fight or something. We lost 3 fights in a row, and our lead just instantly disappeared, and they ran down mid. I think they skipped the racks. I think the racks eventually died to creeps. I think they ran past the racks, the T4s, though. But as one of these, we like ran into a Jug alone, and he 3-man omni-slashed, and we had no items to deal with it at the time. Which is probably a mistake on our part. And the game went south really fast. Once again, it was pretty close, I think, because even when we were winning early, it was pretty back and forth. Like I said, I think this was a pretty good series. The games are very close. I should double check I'm recording. Yep. And then game 3, I think, was the closest of all. We had our full roster back, so both teams playing with their full roster for this game 3, which is nice. And yeah, a lot of death, a lot of green faces. The net worth chart was pretty up and down, mostly in Wilgang's favor. They definitely had the lead for most of the game, but it was still fairly close. When the Wraith King got online, I think we managed to take some fights, but we eventually went down. The puck owned early. See if I can look at the laning. I'm talking like crazy fast, I know. 3-0. This got pretty high. I want to say about like 20 minutes. The dude had like 10 or so kills, and I don't think they died. We didn't kill. When is the first time we killed him? Okay, maybe not quite 20. 1853. So, yeah, this guy crushed early game. Polo didn't win mid. It says he won mid. He lost mid. It only says he won mid because Puck left the lane in Dota Buff's mind. He did do a lot of rotating. Very good rotations. But yeah, overall, pretty good game from Wilgang. What's his face? It's Pat did the whole roaming. He like roams super hard. He doesn't play a traditional 4 in the modern sense at all. He just runs around the map. I think the offlaner gets fucked over pretty hard, to be honest, but they make it work. Yeah. And then I haven't talked too much about the drafts. I don't really care. Someone else can look at the drafts. I was in these drafts. I'm biased. I think Gambit probably talked about them. I'm also rushing because I'm late. Now let's look at the final game. This is the one that surprised me the most. I think I said last week. I could see my team. I thought we would beat Wilgang, but I could definitely see us losing. And I thought these games were. I thought there was maybe a chance Idiots could win. Vapor, I think, had 0 chance. This was the game I was going to be really surprised if it went the other way, assuming that the Hellbear game like literally couldn't go the other way, and it did. So let's look at it. I didn't really look at this game too much the first time. So what do we see? Oh, first thing, Jay, their normal offlaner, was he had like a power out, I think, or maybe just internet problems. So he was gone game 1. They got Uzumaki from the Festival group to stand in. They first pick this, what I think was originally going to be an off lane. OD. It ended up in the safe lane. Pause 3 OD either way. And then they picked up a Wraith King, so pick up those cores super early. We see the Monkey King pick up from Victoria's Secret, as I've mentioned repeatedly now in this little AD2L mini-series. I really like Monkey King and a Wraith King. I think this is another game that kind of showed that off. Monkey King is just very good overall, but I think Wraith King in particular just doesn't do shit to him. We'll move on. We had a Underlord pickup, kind of basic, kind of whatever. I don't know if there was any real reason for this. Maybe they like it against the Wraith King, or maybe they like it with the Monkey. I'm not really sure. I'm not a huge Underlord fan. It's just bad against OD, but I guess it kind of worked. I don't know. It lost lane. How did they boat? Wait, no, it laned against OD. I see. Well, anyway, we'll get to that in a second. So they did lane swap. We see an AA, a bit of a classic for Kavoth, a spammer, not quite Grandmaster, slacking off. And then a Rubik and then a Jakiro. Picking Jakiro into Rubik is super strange to me. I personally think Jakiro is a super shitty 4 anyway, and they picked it into a hero that just loves to play into Jakiro. I don't know what the thought process there was. Yeah, I don't know. Nyx was on the table. No, it wasn't. It was banned. Never mind. So I was wrong there. But either way, that's surprising to me. I don't think that's a good pick. And then they last picked this mid-tiny. Victoria's Secret responded with a mag. Mag kind of does the same thing mid-tiny does to a degree. That's not wholly true, obviously. That's not really true at all, is it? Because Tiny is going to gank and Mag is going to farm. But, meh. They're kind of the same hero. They're big, tanky mids with stun and cleave. Except Mag, I think, does that a lot better. I think Tiny's a bit more of a cheesy... Maybe cheesy's not the right word, but... a bit more of a weird pick, I think. Bit more niche. That's the word I'm looking for. Bit more niche. But Master went off on the Monkey King. It was a pretty easy Monkey King game, I think. In my opinion. Like, I'm not entirely sure what heroes are meant to be, like, strong counters to Monkey, but I don't think it's any of these. What, like, win rate-wise? What wins against him? These can be sketchy as hell since they're, like, across all games. Oh yeah, Bat's like a classic. Magic damage. That's what people pick. But I don't know. Their supports are, like, in theory, I guess, good against him, but they also don't provide, like, any instant stun, which is kind of lame. Or initiation. Maybe that's why they picked the Tiny, because of these supports, but yeah, I don't know. I almost wonder if it would have been better to do something really weird, like do a Jack mid and have a support Tiny. But yeah, either way, we'll play Victoria's Secret. They threw a little bit at some point, it seems. Dumbledore managing to take some fights in like the mid to late game, but they won in the end. Pretty long game, actually, an hour long, but they do seem to have control for most of that. Dumbledore only ever getting 1 T3. So yeah, game 2, Jay was back. We saw the Nyx was left in and then not picked up, I think, which was pretty surprising to not ban the Nyx and then also not pick it. So Victoria's Secret got a Nyx. We see an early Jug pick followed by a Night Stalker. I guess that's meant to be some kind of counter. I'm not really sure. I don't quite see how that's a counter, if that's the goal. But I get it kind of makes sense. Whatever. Not going to question it. I don't know this shit. Grimstroke pickup. I think this is a comfort pick for them. I feel like I see them pick a lot of Grim. Like I feel like looking at their games, I've seen a lot of Grimstroke. Maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't look like it's. Once again, I don't think Grim's like a super great combo with any of these heroes, nor does it seem to counter these two heroes. So I'm assuming it's a bit of a comfort pickup. Just, you know, they have a lot to throw at people. We see a Tusk, maybe to save people from Night Stalker. Not quite sure. Ursa, countered by the wind. That one makes a bit more sense. We see a couple mids banned out. Obviously, because they're going to pick a mid. It's interesting. This looks a lot like last week, where it seems like Master went off one game and Alex went off one game. Which I guess is kind of cool. They're both pulling their weight as the 1-2 duo. Underlord, I don't really like Underlord all that much, but Jay's a very good Underlord. He won his lane, unlike the fellow that had to lane against OD. And he played against an Ursa too. He won the lane on Ursa. I will say, Ursa's like a classic counter to Underlord, but I see Underlord win that lane a lot more than I feel like I should. Like, Ursa should win the lane, but if you screw up, it is like, I think it's surprisingly easy to die. If you screw up and you eat like a full Firestorm and you have Underlord hitting you for like 90 damage, the fact you can rack up stacks on him doesn't matter. You'll die. And I assume that's probably where the Tusk came in as well. If you kind of combo some Shards and Snowball in there, or Shards and E even, you can take him down. I assume that's what happened. Grim also probably not really the best defense to this offlane. Best thing Grim can do is put down Inkswell on Ursa to try and force the Underlord and the Tusk back, but that can be dodged with Snowball. So I'm assuming that the Underlord Tusk duo just got pretty aggressive and or Ursa overextended. But in the end, Victoria's Secret won. This one a lot more clean than the first game. It went a long time again. I think Dumbledore is pretty good at delaying games, honestly. This could have been Victoria's Secret just taking it slow intentionally, but there was a couple other games earlier in the season that they lost that they seemed to take forever to lose in. So I think one of those was maybe in a scrim, but at least one of them was an actual game they played where they were losing the entire game, but they held on for a really long time. It kind of looks like that may have happened here, though with so few kills on Dire. God, they only killed 2 heroes in Radiant only killed 2 heroes in like a 20-minute time span. So maybe Dire was just intentionally taking it slow. I don't know. Maybe they burned an Aegis and then just farmed or something. But either way, clean performance from Victoria's Secret. I was pretty surprised to see them win. We'll see what happens next. I believe they have to play Hellbears next. No. Oh, they already played their series against Wilgang. Well. Oh, I guess maybe this is meant to be next week. Oh, maybe I should predict this game then, if people are playing early. This surprises me. Okay, well, spoilers, I guess. Let's get to predicting real quick before I have to go play for idiots. I guess I'll add Hellbears versus Coconuts in here. Okay, let's get going. Creature versus O's. This has been rescheduled to the weekend. We told him last time we played him. I don't know. I'm just going to say I'm going to win. I got to believe. My internet seems to be back. I'm believing. Dumbledore versus Antikithra. No way Antikithra even shows up tonight. Idiots versus Wards and Base. Dude. I think given that Idiots has literally imploded, I have to give a win to Wards and Base, prediction-wise. They lost pretty hard to Victoria's Secret. Did I even go over their game? Yes, that was a while back. Okay, yeah. They had a break. I remember. Anyway. They looked decent. I don't think they looked too bad against Victoria's Secret. They definitely don't look like they take down Hellbears or anything, but they looked fine. I think they can probably beat Idiots tonight. Idiots using, I think, 2 stand-ins. It's not a good look. It's not a good look to have a bad season and then implode. Vapor versus Grin. I mean, it'd be cool. I've pretty much said ever since their best of ones announced, maybe Grin can win a best of one or something, but that'd be kind of cool, I guess. Especially given that Vapor managed to get past the first round, which surprised me. I thought they were going to lose to O's, and they instead lost to Hellbears. But it would also kind of suck for Vapor to lose here. I think they are the better team. I think they probably will win, but who knows? Maybe Grin has something up their sleeve. It'd be kind of funny to see, I guess. It would also probably enrage all the people that are already angry at the best of one format. But whatever. I'm surprised more people haven't rescheduled and then played best of threes. Regardless of I know it's meant to be a best of one, but there would be no one stopping anyone from just rescheduling and playing a best of 3. And I'm surprised with the amount of people that seem to be kind of annoyed at the best of ones that none of them have tried that. But I don't know. Maybe they just can't be bothered. Hellbear versus Coconuts. This one is a best of 3 that I think is meant to be played next week. Right? It is actually scheduled for today, so I guess I'm wrong. Whatever, I guess it's tonight. This is the only best of 3 tonight. Yeah, I think Hellbears will win, definitely. I think the question is it going to be a 2-0 or a 2-1. Coconuts looked pretty good against Idiots, but I mean, that's not saying much. I think overall they looked kind of meh. They lost a game to Vapor, who Hellbears absolutely obliterated. So I am going to go for 2-0 for Hellbears. We'll see how it goes. A 2-1 wouldn't surprise me. Coconuts winning would surprise me. Hellbears has just been, with the exception of their series versus Dumbledore, they've just looked so untouchable. I will be super surprised if they drop a game before Grand Finals, honestly. But especially with, I think, the way the bracket played out, with all the upsets. Not to say that like there's weaker teams in upper bracket, but it's the fact that the skill gap between the teams that aren't Hellbears is actually smaller than originally expected, at least than I originally expected. I thought kind of like Coconuts through Creature was a lot better than like Wars and Base and Vapor, but you know, Wars and Base, Vapor, Victoria's Secret, and of course Will Gang have all come back in full force. But I don't think any team really looks better than Hellbears. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think Hellbears is going to drop to lower, but we'll see. We'll see. And then I should predict the game twos of the night, which assuming my I'll do this in like italics to. I guess these aren't all happening tonight. Oh no, wrong one. Just going down the line. And to symbolize, these aren't the official teams. These are just who I predicted to win. Creature versus Dumbledore, probably super close. I originally had us predicted in my pretty optimistic bracket prediction. I had one of us beating Hellbears, which is silly, but I believe I had me winning. I'd agree still. I think Dumbledore is good, but I think I'm better. And that's just how it is, and I hope I annoy them with that. I don't want this better in italics. There we go. Wars of Base versus Vapor. Man, Vapor looks pretty good. Wars of Base looks pretty good. I think his teams are pretty closely matched. But I will personally go for... This is really hard. I feel like Vapor's drafting is just whack. It's weird because I think they've actually probably played more this season because they've been playing in multiple leagues than any other team. But I personally dislike their drafting. Their hero picks for mid are super diverse, but it doesn't seem like our friend, I think Fitz might be the name he goes by, doesn't really seem to know how to play all the heroes they pick. I think their safe lane, if I'm remembering correctly, is pretty one-dimensional. And our boy Charbs is totally hit or miss. I guess I could check that game one more time. How did Charbs do in these games? I guess that was a big thing for me last week, because I talked about him on Razor versus him on other heroes. Wait, this is Victoria's Secret. This is not the team I'm looking for. How did Charbs do in these games? 1-7 on Tide, not bad considering they lost. The item timings I don't think are too bad either. I mean, 11-minute Vlad's into Blink. The items fell off after that, but that's when the whole team began losing. And then 1-11 on Beast, lost late. Losing lane on Beast is always yikes, I think. It's not that it can't, it happens sometimes, but especially when you see the full lane, I don't think Beast is a hero you pick if you think there's any chance of you losing the lane. Like, if you pick it early and you leave it up to chance, I guess that's fine if you think it's a good Beast game, but I guess the 0-4 in lane, yeah, I don't know. Charbs is super hit or miss. I give it towards base for sure. I think Vapor's just a little bit too much of a mess, personally. Alright, and that's that. And let's see if I can upload this in the next 10 minutes. Peace, see you next week. Sorry, Lorenzo.